get started. Thanks everybody this morning for joining us on Live Music Nation podcast. I am with Charles William, and I can't wait to hear your story, Charles. Charles is with the a group. Basically, you just started out of nowhere, right? And so your company is called Entertainment Concert Productions, and
Yep.
You're out of Georgia, but your story is completely unique than most concert promoters and producers. Introduce yourself a little bit, give us some background as to where you came from, and then we'll start talking about what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been a truck driver since '89. Yeah, I'm in a milk plant, so they require you to wear your mask at all times, and until I guess this thing is out of the woods.
Yeah. No.
I've been a white collar worker and a blue collar worker. You know, I've been in sales before and stuff. And you know, I started truck driving to learn the industry because there's good money in it, you know. And that's where I've made a lot of my money to go towards things, you know, that I wanted to, you know, produce myself into doing things better, you know.
Sure.
And so you know, the main thing is I've always had the passion for music. You know, I sing. You know, my very first song I recorded was at a small studio doing "I'm Gonna Love You Forever and Ever." Amen. By Randy Travis. And I've done a lot of Garth Brooks songs and stuff in the past, you know, and everybody said, you need to be out on tour on the road. And I'm like, yeah, it's hard to get musicians. But, you know, what you don't find out is, you know, in your hometown, you might not have those thriving artists, you know, or musicians to go out on tour. They're always running to Nashville and trying to get hooked up with a big superstar, you know, or somebody, or get in, and maybe that band might turn key, you know, in a certain time. So I've developed a system that's going to be coming out in the future. I've got a website that I'm going to launch in January called musicartistnation.com. And it's going to help, you know, artists platform, but also help them get gigs too. And I've got a plan for the future to build locations all over the United States for not only for the big artists, but for the small artists, you know, to where they can do stepping stones to go in the right direction, you know.
Yeah. So where did the idea for this music festival, where did that start for you?
You know, everybody out there is like, man, you need to start out small and blah blah blah, and you know, you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way. So I got tired of hearing so many different stories. So what I did, I just started networking and seeing how other people did things and what worked the best. And you know, since the pandemic, you know, I've had to postpone my concerts 3 times, but now it's solid, you know. But you know, you still got sponsors that are, you know, stepping back, you know, and waiting to see, you know, if people are going to come to your concert, you know, then they might get into the next one. So basically, I've had to put all my money into this first big event, you know. And I didn't get the artists that I wanted because a lot of them are having to do makeup concerts, you know, for, you know, all the pandemic stuff. So it's really hard to grab one that could swing through and do your event. So I grabbed what I could right now.
So you were just cruising down the highway as a truck driver and said, man, I love live music. I've always wanted to be a part of it. What was it for you that said, hey, I can produce an event? I want to produce a festival.
Well, because, you know, how music got really marketed, it did start in the radio, and got broadcasted, but a lot of people didn't have radios. They didn't have TVs. So they either found out by word of mouth from somebody, in town if they had an artist in there.
Mhm.
But the trucking industry is truly the one that really got music moving across the nation. I remember when I bought cassettes, and I used to have all these 8 tracks from my grandparents and
Right.
mom and dad and my grandmother. They give you all these 8 tracks. So I'm like, plugging them in and listening. Going down the highway, and stuff. And you know, I'd tell people, "Oh, have you heard this artist?" No, I ain't heard that one. Until the internet come out, and then until cell phones come out,
Right.
then the internet got on the cell phones. Now it's
So
throbbing out
truck
there.
drivers were the original file sharing business for musicians.
Yes,
That's awesome, man. I love that.
yes, because you used to go in a truck stop and there'd be the whole racks with the cassettes.
Yeah.
You remember back then? I don't even think Kmart carried them back in the day.
No.
Until later they started seeing that the truck stops, were making money from that.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people go in the store and says you don't have no cassettes, this. Then they started getting them.
Gotcha.
Then Walmart come in.
Right.
Then they took over. Then they started doing all that. Now there's nothing.
Sure.
It's basically nothing but a bunch of CDs in there now, I
That's
think.
true. That's true.
And those are going out.
Tell me about your concert format. I noticed you're going to have country on the first night. You're going to do a kids festival on the second day, and then country on the third night. And listen, so you've got Lucas Hogue playing, which I'm a huge fan of Lucas. I know him and his wife and his family. He's a great guy. You've got William Michael Morgan on Sunday night. So where did the idea of doing a kids-based festival on Saturday? Where'd that come from?
Alec Colleen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know who she is?
Yep.
Do you want to say who she's is to all your fans out there?
No, you know her better than I do.
Well, I cannot advertise her that way because I'm contracted with her.
Okay.
So, it has to be somebody else has to say it,
I got you. Yeah.
But everybody can go in and see who Alec Colleen is, and they'll be surprised who she is. So
okay. Fair enough. So where did that idea come from of doing a kids festival?
Augusta used to have a lot of stuff that kids could go and do, and a lot of that stuff closed down and stuff, so there's really not a whole lot there to do except for they try to do some little things, but they're small.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm always watching all of the music shows, like The Voice, American Idol, America's Got Talent,
Yep.
And I always wonder where these kids went, how big did they get? What are they doing now? I ain't heard from them,
Right.
And then you start researching, and then you say, oh, well, they're like kind of idling because the parents don't want them to get out there big right now until they get older. They're all now wanting them to go through, finish school, get a degree, blah, 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 then push them out there. And they're only like running them on the weekends. So I saw all these AGT artists, and I had one that had to cancel out due to their tour that they were on. They have to finish that tour out with that band, so the new date wasn't going to meet there. But I brought in Charlotte Summers, so I'm bringing her from Spain. So
very cool.
Yeah, so I got a great lineup for the Kids Fest, and it's getting a lot of attention right now.
Yeah, Yeah. So are you selling 3-day packages or are you just selling individual 3-day packages? Okay.
Yeah, 3-day pass is only $199 to go all 3 days.
And then they can go, can they just buy 1-day passes if they don't want to do the country or the kids?
Yep. And here's the kicker. Anybody that buys a ticket, I'm giving them a complimentary trip. They have 3 choices on my website that they can look at when they buy the ticket. They go on there, I send them a thank you, and then they go on there and they can get a trip. All they have to do is pay the taxes, and if they go on a cruise, the port fee, whatever it is. So it's like less than $100, on some of the trips. Yes, anybody that goes on there and buys a ticket. Now, I've got the online tickets because we're going to do this festival live. I'm going to produce it live on Music Artist Nation next year.
There you go.
I'm launching in January,
Yep.
but we're going to be ready, and it's going to be a performance that's going to blow your mind. Okay.
That's awesome.
I mean, we're going to do it just like you see on TV.
Yeah.
I've got a good producer coming in to help me with it. And, we've got some drone cameras and stuff, and they're going to do all the stuff like, just like on the big TV networks do. And I've got some stuff working with the music network too, that I may have my own channel for Music Artist Nation.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. How are you selecting your artists for your upcoming festival?
Well, I've got some summer stuff I'm doing in Columbia, South Carolina. I found an old speedway that the guy took it and opened it up as a venue for doing events and stuff. And we worked out a deal, and I'm going to be doing a whole big summer fest there in June and July. And then I've got some other dates.
Baby, I'm on there, the bottle of wine and no gals that you want. What's your criteria? What do you
Well, I go to my talent buyers and I say, what do you got available? What kind of money are we looking at? And then I go back and I sit and I focus on my budget out of my pocket. Right. And I do it all myself out of my pocket. And then once I start selling tickets, then I go out there and start looking at sponsors, because once they say, oh, you got it all paid for? Yes, I do. Do you want to sponsor this event? And right now, I'm not asking a whole lot on sponsorships because, it's been a rough 2 years and, everybody's trying to slowly build back up,
Right.
I just read some articles that a lot of restaurants are closing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, wow, I mean, there is a problem going on right now, but
For sure.
I haven't stopped moving freight since the pandemic, man. I've been on the front line running food ever since it happened. And I run a reefer unit and I don't slow down,
Yeah. No, I mean, truck drivers in general are super underappreciated right now, but however, this is a golden opportunity for y'all. This is you can kick back and retire but when the money's good, you got to roll, and we're super grateful for that. So when you're selecting the artists that they give you, do you watch their shows? Do you watch their performances?
Yeah. I watch everything. I go to their website. I see how many people are, contacting them, what they're doing on a daily basis,
Yep.
And I try to stay away from the bad vibe stuff, for right now until they actually, I don't mind giving them a second chance to get them. But when they're doing their thing, off the wall, I kind of back off and say, you know what, let me give them a little more time to develop and maybe straighten themselves out,
Sure.
And then I'll bring them into the spotlight,
Sure. How much do you listen on your social media pages and your website? How much fan feedback and interaction do you have? How much do you listen to your ticket buyers and what they want?
Every day.
Every day. That's awesome.
While I'm in my truck, I try to interact with them every day, but I'm getting ready to hire a whole staff to start doing all that stuff for me. And I'm going to open up an office in Augusta and start, networking some other stuff. And I'm coming out of the truck. It's time for me to really focus full time on this and really make something big and unique for the future. I know you're an artist too, so I'm gonna have you come to one of my festival dates in the summertime. I'd love to have you.
We'd love to be there. I think your story is just amazing, from truck driver to concert promoter and producer. Just a guy that has always had live music passion in your heart, Charles. I think it's a great story, and I was excited to share it with people.
Hey, without music, how would anybody live? Have you ever thought about that? If the whole world was silent and everybody, it would be all drama is what the world would be.
Yeah, no.
But music kind of soothes the soul. It makes people interact. Some it makes them a little bit too sad, but then a song will pick them up and they'll say, why was I sad like that for? Hey, this, then a friend comes by and tells them, some people like to sing to them and get them fired up, to start back living life like they should be, instead of sitting there, all sad and worried about what's going to happen.
Music hits all emotions. You hit it right on the head.
If you go to my Music Artist Nation, it's a coming soon page.
Yeah.
And you'll see my slogan on there is Music Artist Nation is MAN, which is man, right? Well, you got to love the music, you got to love the artist, and you got to love the nation in order to be a true passionate person about music.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, everybody, follow this guy, buy tickets to go to his shows. You're going to get a great show. He's got a great lineup. He has a tremendous heart for live music, not only for the artists, but for the fans. Charles, thank you for joining us. And I'm super excited to see what entertainment, concert, produce. Your productions are great, man. I'm excited to see where you guys go.
Hey, one more thing before I go. Make sure they go to the website and they can either buy the online or the live show.
Okay.
So they have a choice and they still get the trip. Okay. Sure. Now, another thing that I'm doing, and I'm working with Harley Davidson right now, the local Harley Davidson, and I'm going to be purchasing a Harley Davidson, and I'm going to do a raffle drawing on it to raise money for some of the local charities.
Wow.
And I've got some other stuff I'm looking at, getting and doing raffles on it to help raise money, because they really have been going through a bad time, since the pandemic, things kind of, stopped money coming in, and people's had to wait on getting stuff done, like even the women, with breast cancer, there's been a delay there, so
for sure
I'm going to try to raise money, and I'm going to donate every bit of it.
That's awesome. Charles, tell us the website. The concert we're talking specifically about is the Downtown Music Fest in Augusta, Georgia.
.com.
What's the website?
DowntownMusicFest.com.
All right, DowntownMusicFest.com. You can watch it virtually. You can buy tickets, and we're looking forward to it. And your story's amazing, man. Charles, you inspire everybody. God bless all the truck drivers out there. And look at you giving back to live music. I can't think of anything.
And
better,
it-
man.
And it's going to be a great concert. So nobody,
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
even if
For
you
sure.
live out of town, you'll want to watch it live.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
And you can even try to win the Harley or try to win the other prizes that I'm going to have. I'm going to have some
Fantastic.
big stuff to give away, man. I want
Fantastic.
to raise money to help people and, you know, do stuff. I've watched things happen out here that is just unbelievable, you know, and it needs to be fixed, man. And we got to fix it.
Yeah,
We the
absolutely.
people, we have to fix it, man.
Absolutely.
Nobody else is gonna fix it.
Nope.
We
I
have to
agree.
we have to start networking our own selves and doing it ourselves.
Absolutely. Charles, send me all your social media links and stuff like that, and we'll share those with the podcast as well.
Yes, I'm gonna get all that for you.
Okay.
And